Yan, good morning guys, no. Set name apps computer server pa rin, which is kahapon diniscuss natin yung definition ng server and its types. Ngayon, malalaman natin kung paano mag-setup ng computer server. So, yun nga lang, syempre wala tayo sa laboratory. What can I do is to demo through our video, no. Simple tutorial ito no, kung saan paano mag-setup ng computer server at the same time. So parang installation lang naman din to ng OS pero it was designed for the servers. Okay? So ito yung video natin.
Ay demonstration kung paano mag-set up ng computer server. So, para mag-set up ng computer server, muna ay i-set muna natin yung IP address niya. Then, pagkatapos yung time zone, yung computer name, tapos tayo mag-use. Okay, so pag binuksan natin yung computer server natin or yung server natin, which is Windows Server 2008, ang unang naglo-load sa screen yung initial configuration task. Okay, so ito yung initial configuration task. If ever na ma-close mo siya, pwede mo naman siyang buksan ulit. Bakit kailangan natin itong initial configuration task? Kasi parang hindi tayo mawala. Kasi yung mga gagawin natin, nandito na siya. So hindi na natin kailangan punta saan man para hanapin yung mga yun. So dito kasi hindi ka mawawala. So as beginner, para mag-guide ka ng maayos, so dito ka na lang sa initial configuration task. So what if na-close mo nga siya? So paano mo siya hahanapin ulit? So meron lang tayong command or key para mabuksan natin yung initial configuration task. So OOBE. So OOBE, tapos ito yun, then double click that one, so mag-load ulit yung initial configuration task. So yun po yung key or command natin. Okay, so first natin is set, of course, yung time zone muna. So set time zone, then change time zone. So, ang pipili natin dito sa demo ko ngayon ay GMT positive 8 Beijing na Hong Kong. Ayan. So, hanapin mo GMT positive 8, then okay. Then, apply this one by clicking okay. So, yun yung lalabas dito. Next is, of course, importante magkaroon siya ng IP address. Okay. So, paano natin ma-set yung IP address? So, we need to configure the network. So, to configure the network for the IP address of this computer, so click configure networking. Okay, in the local area connection, right click and then properties. Then uncheck the basics para hindi tayo magkaroon ng conflict at ang gagamitin natin yung IPv4. Click properties and then use the following IP address. For this demonstration, I will use the class C of IP address 192.168.101 and 254 for the subnet mask. And for the default gateway, since I didn't have the router and wala pa naman akong papasukan na or wala ang internet connection or wala tayong router, so hindi mo na ako maglalagay. But if you do have, ilalagay mo dito yung IP address. Then use the following DNS server for this demonstration. I will use 192.168.101 and 254. Okay, click OK to apply that IP address and then click close. And we will close this one. And in the initial configuration task, makikita na natin doon na meron na siyang IP address. So here, 192.168.101. Next is, we will provide the computer name for this computer. Okay, so for this demonstration, I will use the name server. So, for the computer description, so lalagyan ko naman dito, this is a computer server. Change. Okay, the computer name is server. So, okay na ako doon. And, dun muna sa work group. Then, apply the settings. Okay, apply. And then, okay. Okay, so, pag, since hindi ko na pinalitan yung computer name ko kanina server, so hindi na ako tinanong para mag-restart. Okay, so pag change nyo yung computer name nyo, magtatanong to na magre-restart. So you need to restart the computer. The reason why we need to restart the computer ay para ma-apply yung mga changes na ginawa ko. So you need to restart it. Okay, so since nabago ko na siya kanina, ka-server na ang pangalan niya, so hindi na ako tinanong para mag-restart. start na ang computer. Okay, so naset ko na yung time zone, naset ko na yung IP address, at naset ko na yung computer names. Ang susunod ko naman na gagawin ay para i-prepare ko na yung computer dun sa tinatawag nating peer-to-peer networking. Okay, so para magawa natin yung kailangan i-ensure ko muna na ma-turn on yung network discovery neto. Okay, para ma-discover itong network or itong PC na to in case or pag sinet up na natin siya, na i-join na natin siya or magkakaroon na tayo ng network dito. So, para magawa natin, ma-turn on, so kailangan muna natin i-check kung naka-turn on ba yung network discovery neto. So, click start and then you go to network. Okay. So here, nakalagay, may lumabas dito na dilaw. Network discovery and file sharing are turned off. So network computers and devices are not visible. So click to change. So click this one. And then, ito yung mga options. So we need to turn on network discovery and file sharing. Then, just continue. And then we have here, yes, turn on network discovery and file sharing for all public networks. Then, so, na-turn on na natin yung ating network discovery. So, pwede na siyang ma-discover na also the file sharing ay naka-turn na. Okay? So, ang next natin na gagawin ay mag-a-add na tayo ng mga rules. Okay? Dito sa server natin. Okay? Ito mga rules na ina-add natin. Ito yung mga pwedeng, kumbaga, ito yung mga features. Okay? Na kinoin on natin. Actually, pag sinabi natin
first, we have Grammarly. The free
rules, ibig sabihin, ito yung mga kakayanan, okay, na sinat natin or kinifigure natin dito sa server natin. Okay, so, una natin i-add natin dito sa server natin. Okay, so, punta lang tayo kay add rules, and nandito pa rin sa initial configuration task. So, click natin yung add rules. So, lalabas dito yung mga rules na pwede natin i-add dito sa server natin. Okay, so, hindi naman kailangan lahat i-add mo. Mamimili ka lang doon kung ano ang mga i-add mo or i-configure mo. Okay, so click next for this one. And dito yung mga rules na pwede natin i-install at i-configure dito sa server nito. Okay, so una muna natin i-add yung tinatawag nating Active Directory. Okay, so ano nga ba yung Active Directory? Okay, yung Active Directory, ito talaga ay isang Microsoft product that consists of several services that run on Windows Server to manage the permissions and access to network resources. Okay, so ang Active Directory, ang trabaho nito ay nag-store siya ng mga data at yung mga data na yun ay in-store niya as object. Ano nga ba yung object? Ang object is a single element such as a user, a group, or application, or also a device. So, example of the device is yung mga printer, scanner. Okay, so yun yung sa Active Directory. So, sa Active Directory, meron tayong mga ang main service na meron sa Active Directory is yung tinatawag natin ADDS. Active Directory Domain Services. That's why yun yung una natin i-install dito. Active Directory Domain Services. Okay? So, click natin yung next. The next. And then, you have it installed. So, ang ADDS, okay, yan yung main service ng Active Directory. Ito, ang ADDS ay nag-store directory information and handles the interaction with or interaction of the user with the domain. So, ang trabaho ng ADDS, nag-verify siya ng access when a user signs into a device or attempts to connect to a server over a network. So, siya ang nag-verify ng user na mag-join doon sa network natin. Okay? So, chine-check niya kung kabilang ba itong user na to dun sa domain natin. Okay? Ang ADDS naman, siya din yung nagpo-control which users have access to each resources. So, siya din ang nagpo-control kung sino nga ba sa mga users, when I say users, yung mga member dun sa network natin, ang meron lang permission to access, okay, sa mga resources. At siya rin ang mag-control kung sino lang ang pwede maka-access dun sa mga resources na yun. Okay? So, yun yung trabaho ng ADDS. So, that's why yun yung unang rule na inad natin, yung Active Directory Domain Services. Okay? So, hihintayin mo lang siyang matapos yun. Okay, so nakalagay na dito installation succeeded. So pag tapos na yung pag-install, so click natin yung close. Okay, so kung makikita natin dito sa initial configuration task natin, nandito na add rules, nakalagay na yung una nating rules na in-add or kinonfigure, which is the Active Directory Domain Services. So isa dito sa ADDS na mention ko kanina na part ng main service ng ADDS yung mag-control kung sino ang mga merong permission to access doon or sino mga user ang may permission to access within the domain. So ibig sabihin, kailangan natin dito ng domain din. Okay, so ano nga ba ang domain or yung tinatawag nating DNS? Okay, DNS, ito yung domain name system. Okay? So, ano nga ba itong domain name system or yung domain natin? Okay, yung domain system, ito yung, ang trabaho nito ay mag-delegates the responsibility of assigning domain names and mapping those names to internet resources by designating or authoritative name servers for each domain. So, magkakaroon tayo dito ng pangalan natin na domain natin. So, paano nga ba i-install at i-configure natin yung domain? Okay, yung DNS natin. Okay? So, para na-configure natin yung domain natin, so all you have to do is to click on start and then type your DC promo. DC promo. Click natin yung DC promo. Okay, so ang ginagawa natin na ngayon ay nag-install tayo at nag-configure na yun ng ating domain. Okay, so use advanced mode installation. Next, and then we have here next. Okay, so sa domain, dito kasi sa Active Directory, meron tayong tinatawag na tree, forest, and domain. Okay, so ang domain, sinabi ko na kanina, yun yung parang dun sa mga pangalan. Okay, ang domain, it is a group of objects such as users or devices that share the same AD or Active Directory database. Ang domain has a domain name system structure. So, ang domain ay merong DNS structure. Meron dito yung tinatawag dito sa ADDS na tinatawag din natin forest. So, ito, meron tayong forest. So, meron dito yung tinatawag na tree. Okay, ang tree is a one or more domains grouped together. So, yun yung tinatawag, yung sinasabing tree. One or more domains grouped together. Okay, meron dito yung tinatawag na forest. So, dito, create natin, ang pipiliin ko dito, since we do not have a forest yet, dito muna ako sa create a new domain in a new forest. Ano ba yung forest? A forest, it is a group of multiple tree. Ang tree, it is one or more domains grouped together. Okay, so create tayo ng domain. FQDN of the forest root domain. FQDN stands for fully qualified domain name. So for this example, I will use CEU.net. Okay, click next. So checking whether the new forest name is already in use. Kasi pag na-check niya na meron ng ganyang pangalang domain, so magpa-prompt dito ng message na meron ng kaparehas na domain. So you need to change that. So domain net bias name. So okay na ako sa CEU. So click next. And then since I am using Windows Server 2008, so the forest functional level, change ko to into Windows Server 2008. Then next. So examining the domain, then select additional options for this domain controller. So check DNS server, click next. And then click yes. Ito pa nga pala, pag nag-install ka netong domain, okay, if you're using a VMware, you need to make sure na naka-login ka dito as an administrator. Kasi magkakaroon ng error pag hindi ka naka-administrator. So, kaya dito, since ako ay hindi naka-administrator, naka-ASUS ako, magkakaroon ko siya ng problem. So that's why ito lumabas. A delegation for this DNS server cannot be created because the authoritative parent zone cannot be found or it does not run Windows DNS server. Okay, so yeah. Kailangan, maano muna natin, bago pala gawin itong pag-aano natin ng domain, kailangan naka-ano ka muna, naka-administrator kung gumagamit ka ng VMware. So since gumagamit lang ako ng VMware, so kailangan naka-ano daw muna ako, naka-administrator. So kailangan you have to log on log in as an administrator. So cancel ko na lang muna to siya kasi hindi rin ako makakapagtuloy. So I need to switch to another user. Kailangan makalagin muna ako as administrator. Okay, so mag-change muna tayo as administrator. So, bago naman gawin to siya, para maiwasan din yung pagkakaroon ng error, bago mo gawin yun, check nyo muna kung naka-administrator kayo. So, since hindi ko na-check kanina na hindi ako naka-administrator, so, kaya nagkaroon siya ng error. Okay, so, kayo pa, bago nyo gawin, kailangan make sure nyo muna na naka-administrator na lang kayo para wala kayong magiging problem with setting up or configuring the domain name system, the DNS. Okay, so let's just wait na makapag-switch account tayo into administrator. Okay. So, dito naka-administrator na ako. So, kailangan ko nang ituloy yung i-install ng ating DNS. So, again, that's easy promo. Use advanced mode installation. Click next. Next. And then, new domain in a new forest. So, I will use ceu.net. Click next. Checking whether the new forest domain is already existing and verifying net values name. Click next, and then I am using 2008, so the forest functional level will be on Windows Server 2008. Check the DNS server, then yes, so click next for this one. So I will use, or I will apply a password for this Active Directory domain services. So, I will use, it's up to you kung ano yung password. But take note, pag nasa ano tayo, server, dapat yung password natin ay at least minimum of 8. And dapat meron siyang small letter, capital letter, number, tapos meron siyang special character. Then next, and then we have a reboot on completion. So, hintayin mo lang siyang mag-reboot para magkaroon na tayo ng ating domain. So, pag natapos na yon, since na-check natin yung reboot on completion, so magre-restart siya. Okay, so dalawang beses nag-restart kanina yung computer, nung mag-change ka ng computer name mo. Okay, and the next one, yung pag-i-install natin ng DNS. Okay, so pag nakompleto yung pag-i-install niya ng DNS, so magre-restart yung computer mo. So it's okay, part of the process. Okay, ng pagko-configure ng DNS is yung magre-restart siya. So you need to wait na. Okay, so nakapag-restart na tayo. So ang next natin is, continue natin yung pag-a-add na ng iba pang rules. So yung na-add na natin na rules dito ay yung Active Directory Domain Services, tapos yung DNS natin na yung domain name system. Okay, so makikita natin yan dito sa add rules dito. Naglo-loading pa siya. So makikita natin dito yung mga natapos na natin i-add or na-configure na rules dito sa ating server. Okay, so yung next natin na i-add naman ngayon is yung pangatlo nating rules, which is the DHCP. Okay, ano nga ba yung DHCP? Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. So, ano ang DHCP? Okay, yung DHCP, simple lang, okay? Para mas maintindihan siya ng mabuti. Ang DHCP po ay Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Ito yung nag-automatically assign ng IP address dun sa mga members dun sa network. So, ibig sabihin, siniset up natin to para ilagay natin kung ano yung mga IP address na i-assign ng server sa mga computer or sa mga users na member doon sa network. So, DHCP assign automatically IP addresses to the users in the network. Okay, so yun po yung susunod natin na i-install yung DHCP natin. Okay, so para magawa yun, click natin yung add rules. Click next. And then, dito tayo sa DHCP server. Then, click next. Okay, click next. And this is the IP address of our computer. our server. Ang ginamit ko ay class C na 192.168.101.254. So, click natin yan. Next. Okay. Then, the parent domain is ceu.net. Then, the IP address, the preferred DNS server IPv4 address. So, this is now our DNS server. Okay. So, the DNS server IP address natin na nasa version 4 is 192.168.101.254. So, validate natin. So, dapat nakalagay dito valid. Okay. Then, click next. Okay, so WINS is not required for the applications in this network. So click next. And then here, dito sa part na to, dito ka maglalagay ng scope ng IP address mo na ipamimigay natin o i-assign ng server doon sa mga members, okay, din sa network. Okay, so add tayo dito. Then you will provide the scope name. So for example, meron akong 100 computers, okay, na mag-join dito sa network. So ang scope name ko na lang, ilalagay ko na lang scope 100. The starting IP address, since gumamit ako kanina ng class C, so dapat nandun din yung IP address ko. So 192.168.101, so mag-start ako ng 10. Okay, since 100 ang nilagay ko, so IP address, ending IP address is 101.110. So that's 10 to 110, so 100. Subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. And for the default gateway, optional naman siya. Pwede mo ilagay dito kung meron kang default gateway. So for the meantime, since nag-VMware ako, so wala tayong default gateway. So dito siya as blank. Okay, then click OK. Okay, so this is now our scope. Okay, so ito yung gagamitin natin, 10 to 110. Click next. Okay, disable the version 6 stateless mode for this server. Click next, and then use current credentials. The current credentials. Click next. Okay, then install. So we will wait until the installation is completed. So, installation succeeded. So, since gumagamit ako ng VMware, lalabas dito installation succeeded with error. So, it's okay. I-proceed tayo. Okay, pero kung i-action mo siyang gagawin, wala namang lalabas dito na error. Click close. Okay, so we're done with the DHCP. So, we have right now the Active Directory, the ADDS, the DHCP, and the DNS server. So, paano natin malalaman or ma-check natin, okay, kung meron na nga ba tayong domain and also yung IP address natin, okay? So, para magawa yon, punta tayo dun sa ating command prompt, okay? So, sa command prompt, or you can type here CMD, okay, to go to the command prompt, and then the command is nslookup. Okay, so itong nslookup, it is a network administration command line tool available for many computer operating systems for querying the domain name system to obtain the domain name or IP address mapping for any other specified DNS. Okay, so nslookup, enter natin. So dapat lalabas na dito yung IP address mo and also your the DNS. Okay, so dito dapat lalabas na default server which is ceu.net. Okay, so dito nakalagay pa localhost sa akin and the address is 127.0.0.1. So, i-configure ko pa yung lookup at yung loopback niya. Okay, so yun po yung dapat lalabas dito. Okay, so i-continue natin by adding yung iba pang rules. Then, i-configure din natin yung lookup niya tapos yung loopback niya. Okay, so meron na tayo ditong tatlo. So, tapusin ko muna yung iba pang rules na i-install natin. So, ang iba pang rules natin, idagdag natin. Okay, next. Add rules pa rin. So, idagdag natin yung file services. And also, pagsabayin ko na yung print services. Okay, next. Next. Then, print server. Select the rule services to install for print services. So, that would be print server. Okay, then click next. And select the rule services to install for file services. So, for file services, that would be file server resource manager. Click next. And then, since ang drive natin dito ay C lang, okay, wala tayong drive D, pwede kasi dun sa drive D ilalagay, pwede rin sa drive C. We can monitor the amount of space here. on each volume in this command generate storage reports when a volume features specified usage threshold. Okay, so kung may drive D ka dito, pwede sa drive D. So since dito drive C lang ang meron dito sa aking VM ko yan. Okay, dito sa Windows Server 2008. So ito na lang muna. So check this one. Then click next. Okay, click next. And then install. So wait mo siya until the installation is completed. So installation succeeded. Close this one. So makikita natin dito sa ating rules. Ito na yung Active Directory, 1 rule, then 2 DHCP, 3 DNS, 4 file services, and then number 5 is print services. So next natin na gagawin is i-configure na natin yung NS lookup. Okay, so i-minimize ko muna ang configuration. So to configure the NS lookup, you go to Start, and then Administrative Tools, then you go to Server Manager. Okay, so under Server Manager, click natin yung Rules. Under the Server Manager, so wait for the Server Manager to load. Okay, so this is the Server Manager. Expand the rules by clicking the plus sign here. Then you go to DNS server by clicking the plus sign to expand. And then we have our DNS, click here to expand. And then the server, this is the name of our computer, server. Click this one. And then you go to reverse lookup. Okay, so click the plus sign, right click, and then new zone. Okay, so this is the configuring the lookup. Click next, and then next. To all DNS server in this forest, which is the CU.net, to all the DNS servers in this domain, which is the CU.net. So naka-domain tayo, so dito tayo sa second option. Click next, then IPv4. We're using the IPv4 for our lookup zone. And the network ID is 192. Since we are using the 192.168.101, so yun po yung class na ginamit ko na IP address kanina. So ito din yung to identify the reverse lookup zone, type the network ID or the name of the zone. So ito yung the network ID is the portion of the IP addresses that belongs to this zone. Okay, so ito daw ang hahanapin niya ng mga IP addresses. Pag nag-check na siya, nag-verify na siya ng mga user na nag-access doon sa ating server. Okay, so 192.168.101. Click this one, next, the next, and then finish. Okay, so mapapansin mo dito sa reverse lookup zone, nandito na yung inad natin. Okay, 192.168.101. Okay, so ang gagawin natin dito, click this one, right click, and then new pointer. Then lagay natin dito 254. Okay, so IP address, the host IP address. So the host IP address, ito yung IP address ng ating server. Okay, so ang server natin is 192.168.101.254. And the host name, so sino yung host name natin? Okay, so click browse, and then this is the name of our server, the computer. So ito yung host natin. Click the forward lookup, and then the domain is CU.net. Okay, then in the record type, para mahanap natin yun, so click all records, and then choose same as then the start of authority. Then click OK, and then click OK here. Okay, so meron na tayong lookup. So yun yung mga IP addresses na titingnan ng server pag meron na nag-access dun sa ating server. So ang next natin is configure naman natin yung loopback. Ibig sabihin, paano naman mag-respond. Okay, ano naman DNS yung IP na ginagamit para mag-respond naman yung ating server. Okay, so ang gagawin naman natin ngayon ay mag-configure naman tayo ng tinatawag nating loopback. Okay, so same pa rin, dito pa rin tayo sa server manager, dito pa rin sa DNS, okay, sa server, and then dito sa reverse lookup. So right click tayo dito, new zone. Okay, so click next. Okay, next. Okay, to all DNS server in this domain. Next, next. So dito, ito naman yung IP address na gagamitin natin para sa ating loopback. 127.0.0. Next. Then finish. So meron tayo dito yung 127.0.0. Okay, so right click, then new pointer. Okay, so ano naman yung host IP address natin? So 127 then 0.0.1. For the host name, we have the server, forward lookup, cu.net. Okay, then all records here. Then save as parent or start of authority. Then click OK. Then OK. Okay, so tapos na tayo sa ating lookup and then lookback. Okay, so check natin. So check in the CMD, or in the command prompt, and we have your ns lookup. Enter. So we have here now the default server is cu.net and the address is 127.0.0.1. Okay, during dun sa configuration natin ng DNS natin, nag-validate tayo ng DNS server natin, which is 192.168.101.254. So dito, nung nag-configure naman tayo ng loopback, ang default natin dito na IP address is 127.0.0.1. So that's why we need to change. So kailangan natin i-change yung ating IP address dahil napalitan siya, which is during the installation kasi ng ating DNS, na-validate na natin na yun yung ating IP address. So that's why babalikan natin yun. So we will change again the IP address. Okay, so balik lang tayo dun sa pag-configure natin ng IP address. So as you can see here, in the DNS server, napalitan na siya. So ibabalik ko yung IP address na kinonfigure natin kanina during the installation of our DNS, which is 192.168.101.254. Okay, then click OK, close. And close this one, then close this one. So okay na tayo sa mga rules. Adding ng mga rules natin, which is 5 yung in-add natin, and also we have 5 rules. Tapos nakapag-configure na rin tayo ng lookup natin at ng loopback. So ano yung next natin na gagawin? Mag-create na tayo dito na tinatawag natin na organizational unit. Okay, so ano nga ba yung organizational unit? Okay, so ang organizational unit, okay, so what is an organizational unit? Because yun yung susunod natin na gagawin. Okay, so ang organizational unit, ang ibig sabihin nun, it organizes users, groups, and devices. So sa bawat domain kasi na ginawa natin, each domain can contain only one, or each domain can contain its own organizational unit. Okay, so organizational unit cannot have separate namespaces. So for example, meron kang ginawang user account with the same username. Okay, hindi po yun nakikreate dahil meron siyang kaparehan. Okay, so para ma-organize natin yung mga users, tapos yung mga policies na pwede natin ilagay sa mga users na lang, we need to create our organizational unit. Okay, so to create an organizational unit, click Start, then Administrative Tools, then you go to Active Directory Users and Computers. So dito tayo mag-create ng ating organizational unit, at sa bawat organizational unit na mag-create natin, maglalagay tayo ng mga users na pwede lang member doon sa unit na yon. Okay, so sino lang mga users na pwedeng pumasok doon. Okay, so here, the name of our domain. Okay, dito sa domain natin ng cu.net, dito tayo gagawa ng organizational unit. Okay, so here, nandito. So right-click in the cu.net, then go to new, and then create organizational unit. Okay, so for example, ang name ng aking organizational unit is lab users. Okay, so first is the lab users. Okay, lab users ng 201 lab users. Okay, sa room 201, okay, 201 lab users. Okay, so sa ISC 201, ito yung mga users na kabilang dito. Okay, then click OK. So we have here now our organizational unit, which is the lab users. Dito sa users, ito, pag-click natin yung users, nandito yung mga iba't ibang klase ng users. Okay, so pwede kang mamili dyan na pwede mo ilagay din dito sa 201 lab users. So for example, dito sa 201 lab users, dito ka maglalagay ng mga users na gagawin mo. Okay, so for example, gagawa ako ng 2 users, okay, tapos isang admin. Okay, so una, gagawa muna ka ng users. So right-click here, dito sa space na to, under 201 lab users, click new, and then we have your user. Okay, user. So, user ng cu.net 201 lab users. So, unang ilalagay ko si user 1. Okay, so it's up to you kung pwede mong lagyan yan ng last name. Okay, bahala ka na. So, for the meantime, first name na lang muna, din the login name, ilalagay ko dito user 1. So, the user 1, okay, next, Okay? Users must change password at next logon. Ibig sabihin, pag ito yung pinili mo, kahit maglagay ako dito ng password, ito muna ibibigay kong password din sa user na yon. Then, pag nag-login siya, tatanungin siya na i-change na yung password niya. Kasi naka-check dito, user must change password at next logon. So, kung yun yung gusto mong gawin, it's up to you. Okay? So, ang gagawin ko na lang dito ay password never expire. So, lalagay ko dito ng password for our user 1. Okay, so next. So, nakapag-create na tayo ng unang user natin. So, it is user 1. Okay, dalawang user ang gusto kong i-create. Okay, so ibig sabihin, pwedeng dalawang user ang nakakapasok dun sa ating, or member doon sa ating 201 lab user. So, this is user 2. Okay, and the logon name is user 2. Okay, next. The same. Password never expire. And then the password. And then confirm password. Okay, next. And then finish. Okay, so if you want to have the administrator, okay, ang gagawin mo lang is punta ka lang kay users. Okay, then we have here the administrator, right click for the dito, then copy. Okay, so ang ginagawa mo naman ngayon ay isang administrator. Okay, so for example, ang administrator ko ay ako, so Raymond. Okay, the logon name is Raymond. Pero itong administrator na ito, hindi ito yung admin. Ito is a local administrator only for this organizational unit. Okay, so Raymond, and then we have the password na ito. Okay, so next, finish. So, hahanapin mo dito yung na-create mo. So, ito yung Raymond user. Okay, then click na lang dito and drag natin dito kay 201 lab user. Click yes. Okay, then kung ito-check natin dito sa 201 lab user, so we have here na user 1, user 2. The type is user and Raymond, still the user kasi ginawa ko lang naman is a local administrator. Okay, so okay na tayo dun sa Active Directory users and computers sa pag-create natin ng organizational unit. So ano ang next natin na gagawin pag nakapag-create na tayo ng organizational unit? So dun na papasok yung gawa naman natin. Pag-set natin ng policy. Okay, yun yung tinatawag natin group policy management. Okay, ano ang mga policy, okay, na i-apply natin o i-implement natin dun sa mga sa 201 lab user. So, yun yung ating gagawin, yung group policy. But before that, okay, hahanap muna tayo ng folder na kung saan dun papasok itong mga user na to. Dun natin ma-check, okay? Mamamanage itong mga user na to. So, yun yung tinatawag natin folder redirection. Okay? Ang folder redirection, ang ibig sabihin ng folder redirection, okay? Microsoft refers to folder redirection when automatically rerouting an input-output to or from standard folder, which is referring to the directories, to use storage elsewhere on the network. So it is often used in an office network environment to ensure that users do not store data locally. Okay, when a network device is preferred storage, when a network device is the preferred storage location. Folder redirection allows saving data regardless of storage location and separates user data from profile data, decreasing the time required to log all. So marami pang mga advantages ng paggamit ng folder redirection. Okay, so ang next na gagawin ko muna is gagawa muna ako ng aking redirection na folder. Okay, so since dito, nakikita ko isa lang ang directory ko na nandito, drive C. Okay, so gusto ko sana ang aking folder redirection ay ilalagay ko na lang sa drive D para hindi mahalo dito sa drive C. So, ano yung gagawin ko? Since naka-VMware ako, isa lang talaga yung drive C. Okay, so gusto ko sana magkaroon ng ibang drive para doon na lang siya ilalagay. So, anong gagawin ko or way ko para makagawa ng another drive? Kasi yun yung gagamitin kong drive para sa aking folder redirection. Okay, so, ang paraan na gagawin ko ay yung tinatawag na pag-shrink ng volume. Okay, so how
Hi.
Yan po yung how to set up a server using a Microsoft Server 2008. Okay? So, sisend ko na lang tong link natin for the para sa reference niyo, pwede niyo mapanood to after the class.